Hi everyone, it's Tracy Learn.
And Peter Murray. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Peter, and Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to you too, and Happy New Year to all our listeners and followers and subscribers and who else are watching us.
Absolutely. Well, can you actually believe that we're in 2017 now? I mean, 2016 was an incredible year for Bitcoin, and 2017 really started off with a bang.
Well, not only did 2017 start off with a bang, the last few weeks in 2016 were quite exciting as well.
Yes, very indeed.
I think we should put our computers off for another 3 weeks and see what happens.
Actually, I'm on this graph now, if you can have a look. Just hold on a second here. Yeah, 31st of December, it was 958.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that was actually the price that kind of ended on. Let me just go a little bit further here.
So we ended the year just under $1,000.
Yeah, around about 965.50, around there. And then look at this massive, massive growth, and everybody got so excited, and it started to go up and up and up and up and up. Oh my goodness! What did it? It was 11:53:38, and then last night, yesterday afternoon, it just started to plunge.
I think, Tracy, if I look at it, I mean, the Bitcoin price is definitely trading in lockstep with the Chinese currency. So I think this is the big issue. Whatever the Chinese currency is going to do, Bitcoin is going to do the opposite for now.
Yes, and you know, there's a whole lot of things that are happening in China at the moment. You know, they are trying to really curb their capital flight.
Well, we also have, it's going to be an interesting time because at the end of the month we've got a Chinese New Year coming. And, you know, traditionally the Chinese traders like to mix up markets a little bit when there's holiday periods. So I think we're in for a very, very volatile January.
You think so, Peter?
Absolutely. But I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. Whatever you're looking at here, this Bitcoin price, just remember one thing. It's very, very, very cheap.
Yes, very, very, very cheap.
Because I believe in 2017, we're going to get massive adoption of Bitcoin. We're going to start getting institutional investor adoption. And I think this is going to put the fire under the Bitcoin price we haven't seen. I think that in the next 5 years, we'll see $10,000 Bitcoin for sure.
Well, Peter, that's very exciting. And yeah, so, and so many of the experts out there are really, really talking about the fact that they believe that, you know, Bitcoin is, I mean, it's only just begun, really, you know, so it's definitely going to reach those incredible highs we talk about.
I think the main thing for us is to look at, you know, that's why what we've done with our business is we're taking a long-term view on Bitcoin to try to predict the price on a short-term basis. We've seen how futile that is already, you know, but I think the long-term picture is looking at adoption, looking at Bitcoin businesses, and just basically, you know, following what's going on. And if you want to do that, what is the best way to do that? Is to follow our Facebook page, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to subscribe to our blog. And those are all free. And we will provide you with, you know, a full and free Bitcoin education, as well as keep you updated on what's going on in the market.
Yes, absolutely. But, you know, Peter, if you just think about it, over this December period and into January now, we've had such the mainstream media have really been talking so much about Bitcoin. There's been so much interest.
Well, it's because the prices have been going up so much. I mean, Bitcoin was the best performing currency of 2016. And there was a lot of exposure in the early week of January and the end of December on CNBC, on Bloomberg, on BBC News, on Sky News, all the big news channels. So yes, I mean, Bitcoin is all over the financial news, and you know, it's accepted now that Bitcoin is an asset class, and that you know, the investor community will start looking at this. I think this year we'll see a lot of funds being approved that approvals have been waiting for. I'm thinking specifically about the ETF, the Winklevoss brothers have been waiting for 2 years now for the SEC to approve their fund. And I think once that happens, is, then people don't have to go to a shady Bitcoin currency exchange to go buy Bitcoin. They can actually go and buy Bitcoin on the New York Stock Exchange or whatever that thing is going to be listed, or on a regulated exchange.
Yeah.
Without even having to own a Bitcoin wallet. So can you understand how much, it's going to be unbelievable to see how much fire that's going to put onto the Bitcoin price if investors, the mainstream investor community, really adopts it. But at the moment, Bitcoin prices are moved by the Chinese, and this is why we have this volatility.
I just want to go back on what you said about the Winklevoss twins. There was an article that just came out to say that their next date is the beginning of March. So they've been pushed out again. And maybe this is all about a lack of understanding or the fact that they were going to be talking to more stakeholders, to find out, what is the best or how to go about this, the best way. So I think that, the door hasn't shut.
The door's not going to shut. It's going to stay open, and it's just going to adoption in Bitcoin this year and the blockchain. This is going to be. They said 2017 is going to be the year of the blockchain. My prediction is that 2017 is going to be the year of Bitcoin.
Yes, I believe so too.
Because Bitcoin is the real app on the blockchain that's working well, and I've noticed a slight move in all presentations and stuff we've gone to. A year ago, nobody wanted to. To mention the word Bitcoin in a meeting where banks and people were involved. They all were just talking about blockchain. They never even said the word Bitcoin. All of a sudden, people are talking about Bitcoin and talking less about blockchain. So it's interesting how that dynamic has changed.
And actually, I'm sure before we know it, we're going to start seeing Bitcoin on our bank statements.
I think it's just a matter of time, because one of the big banks make a move, all of them will follow like dominoes.
And also, the ex-CEO of Barclays Bank has just joined blockchain.info.
Very interesting.
And this is somebody who comes from a banking environment. Obviously, is very connected. There's lots of connections everywhere. And when high-profile people like this are moving into this new economy, that's an excellent find.
Very, very, very much so. And I think we're going to have an exciting time this year in watching this news and, really watching the new digital economy unfold. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Well, the one other thing that's really been happening is all this issue around fiat currency. And the article we've got in front of us now is all about Malaysia and saying that it's already weak and it's going to have further to fall. It's also affected Chinese yuan.
Well, we're almost having a little bit of an emerging market currency crisis, if you think about it. The current emerging market currencies have been weak. So, if this continues, and a lot of this is there's a lot of dollar strength because, and I think the main currencies are going to increase mainly because of rising interest rates. I think interest rates is going to start rising this year. And, that's going to support the big currencies like the euro and the dollar and the pound. And the smaller currencies are going to weaken.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is a blog. Bitcoin price races past 1,105 days into 2017, and that was just yesterday, and that was that was incredible. But one of the things that many people say, are they too late to buy Bitcoin? And really, it is a resounding no. You have to actually get into buying Bitcoin now. It doesn't matter how much you're going to buy. You actually need to get into it, because if you look at how Bitcoin is going to increase over the next 20 years, it is going to increase. Peter, I'm very bullish about this.
Well, you're speaking to the wrong person here, because what did I say? I said Bitcoin is very, very, very cheap. Very cheap, very cheap. If you want to buy Bitcoin at a good price, the time is now.
I want to make a note, because this blog is one of our blogs, and what we're going to intend to do every single week we're going to do a blog on the top stories and that made the news, and that's the way we're gonna build up a history, so that if ever anybody wants to know what happened in that particular month, you can actually go back to our blog and have a look at those articles that are written. So
Well,
I think that could be quite good.
I think that's great, Tracy. And just to let people know, our blog, the website is bit-media.org. And Tracy, but you know, we've never really talked about your blog. Don't you want to just give people an idea what they can find on your blogging site?
Well, we've got the obviously all the news articles that we put on there. So it's all these YouTube videos that we make, as well as a couple of the highlights. And we've got all our explainer videos, so everything about what is Bitcoin, what is the blockchain, and any kind of question. So basically, it is a free education. You can go there, and they're very, very simple, very simply explained. There's no like deep. It's not for developers, put it that way. It's for the man in the street, just to understand what Bitcoin is and what impact it's going to have on our world. And then, of course, we've got a blockchain explorer, so you can follow your transactions. If you send somebody some Bitcoin, you can then put the wallet address in there, and you can even track and see where your Bitcoin is or what's in your wallet that way. Of course, all those transactions are anonymous, and they're not, there's no names or anything. So it's not like going in and finding out whose wallet belongs to you. And then we've also got the new cash, the coin exchange. Peter, can you just tell us a bit about that coin exchange? Because that's quite nifty.
Yeah, the coin exchange is very, very nice. That is, you can actually change from any of the altcoins into Bitcoins and vice versa. So if you have Bitcoin and you want to change it to Ethereum, you can go in there. Obviously, you need a Bitcoin wallet and an Ethereum wallet. And you can say, exchange my Bitcoins for Ethereum, and the exchange will give you a price. And it was very seamless. Within a few minutes, you'll have your Ethereum in your wallet, and you can, and conversely, if you have some altcoins that you want to sell and you convert it back to Bitcoin, you can do that, and you can do it right there on your site. Just go to Coin Exchange.
Yeah, that's excellent. And what else have we done there, Peter?
Well,
yeah, what's the live price?
Yeah, it's the live prices on there. That's what I wanted to say. So if you ever want to see the prices, just go there and you'll see it. And also make sure you subscribe to our blog. Because we'll send you a daily email with some updates on what's happening in the Bitcoin world. And also, there's a lot of new things coming onto the blog. We're working on providing all kinds of tools and information and stuff like that will keep you guys really, on top of things in 2017. And like we said, 2017 is going to be an extremely exciting year. And, when we say to people, get involved in Bitcoin, people always think they've got to buy Bitcoin if they're going to do something. But what we really mean when we say get involved is first thing we mean is get yourself educated. Involvement does not mean you've got to make an investment, you've got to buy anything or anything like that. Involvement means just to not be ignorant. That's the first step of involvement. Yes. Get involved that way and know what's going on. Once you know what's going on, you can increase your involvement because now you have knowledge, and knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Okay, so now just going back to another one of our blogs. Yesterday we were on a bit of a roll. A war on cash driving Bitcoin adoption. We saw last year that there was, firstly it started with the European Central Bank saying, they're considering getting rid of the 500 euro notes, and that kind of set the ball rolling. In November, India, they then got rid of the, or declared that the 500 rupee and the 1,000 rupee would no longer be legal tender. And in fact, the deadline for handing in your notes was the 31st of December. And that's come with quite a bit of pain. And then, of course, Venezuela were waiting for, they were also going to have the, they are in hyperinflation. I mean, their currency dropped 45% in a month. People are struggling over there, and the interesting thing is there's been marked buy-in on local bitcoins for Bitcoin in those two countries. And then, of course, it follows on to Australia as well. So just, go and read that blog, go and check out those graphs. Pretty interesting. And, you just spoke about getting involved in everything and what it really means. And I think you're right. The first thing that somebody needs to do is all about education. And here's an article about, can Bitcoin businesses break affiliate site stereotypes? I mean, whenever people see the word affiliate, they immediately think, oh, this is a networking opportunity.
Yes, and and obviously Bitcoin is not a network marketing company. It's not a network marketing opportunity. It's not an affiliate opportunity. Bitcoin is a means of exchanging value on the blockchain.
Correct.
It's got nothing to do with any of those things. And there's a lot of those businesses latching on and using Bitcoin as a means of exchange. But Bitcoin is certainly not a network marketing business or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or an affiliate business. Bitcoin is not a business at all. And that's why you need to watch the explainer videos and to actually, go watch the first one, what is Bitcoin? And the second one you need to watch is, what is the blockchain? And they're both on your site and on your YouTube channel. So just go watch them. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so here's the link into the coin exchange, which we've just spoken about. And this is also quite an interesting article on the current and historical Bitcoin price growth. It'll be amazing. In fact, there is a creative just a little bit further up on it. And actually, this creative is quite interesting, because it is quite amazing that as Bitcoin price started to just shoot up, everybody started to look and watch, and that's why the mainstream media are, they are going to be following Bitcoin. We're going to see more and more of that over the next year. That's for sure. Peter, there's another one of an interview with BTC's. Sorry, let me just switch this one off. BTC's price rally. He's actually the CEO of this exchange in China, and he's very, very excited and bullish about Bitcoin. And he's saying that if Bitcoin gets past the 1,300 mark, it's definitely going to shoot to $7,000. But there's a lot of predictions and people saying that it's going to go beyond $2,000 this year.
Yes, I think, well, if you think about the growth last year, if Bitcoin grows by 300% again, we'll have $3,000 Bitcoin this year.
Absolutely. And of course, lots and lots of events are coming up. One in London coming up in a couple of weeks. There's blockchain events every single week. So just go and have a look on this link over here and see where there's a conference near you. There you go. There's your thought for the day. Bitcoin is still very, very cheap.
You left out a very.
Okay, here's the graph that I was talking about. Now, this was when the price was 1,145, and it had actually in a day it had gone up 8.65%. But look at this: since it started 5 years ago, it's gone up 21,715%.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's the power of building something brand new and creating a new economy, and it hasn't even started yet.
Absolutely. And here's the article about the Winklevoss twins, their Bitcoin ETF being delayed. Now, actually, it's going to actually coincide, or rather, it's going to be when President Donald Trump is sworn in. So it'll be interesting to see what President Donald Trump is going to bring to the world.
Now that you mentioned that geopolitical risk again, that's something to watch out for this year as well. We haven't even, if we look at outlook for the year, price outlook for the year, an actual fact is, if you guys follow our YouTube channel, we'll be doing a price watch video a bit later today, and we'll talk about the outlook for 2017. So I'm not going to talk about it now. So please go watch that, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and go look at that video that we're going to discuss the prices and the factors include, that's going to really, really impact the price in 2017. And, geopolitical risk will be one of them.
Great. So this is just an article about the fact that Bitcoin prices just dropped nearly $200 in an hour. When a price is moving up so rapidly, I mean, it also means that it can come down pretty rapidly too.
I think volatility is going to be the order of the day in the first few months of this year, and we've already seen that. Yeah.
Nigerians declare war on cryptocurrency scam. There's many of these scams around. It just looks like they've developed they've created a platform called Nigeria Blockchain Alliance, and they're going to be fighting in crypto development initiative in Nigeria, and they're going to fight against these crimes because it's affecting their people. I think they've also.
I think this is a very good thing. The guys are actually clamping down on this type of stuff. So let's see if they.
Well, just talking about Nigeria, Peter. Nigeria saw a major price hike last year of about $1,200, and if you look at the Bitcoin that was bought, the volumes there was very, very high as well. But these guys were going into Triple M, believe it or not. And I actually believe that Triple M has all but collapsed again in that country. And you'll find South Africa's also there's been a lot of people in South Africa that have joined Triple M, and there's been a recent push for to put Bitcoin into Triple M. And you can actually see the volumes on local Bitcoins, how it spiked. And then all of a sudden it came down again. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. But this is the reason that they've actually put that in place.
Just for our readers or our listeners that don't know, Triple M is a very well-known Russian Ponzi scheme that's been running for years. And if you ever get invited or shown this, please just avoid it.
Okay, absolutely. And here is an article by CNBC, and just saying here it's absolutely the rise and the fall of Bitcoin is linked to the yuan. As the yuan goes up, Bitcoin goes down, vice versa.
That's exactly what we just said, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but we're always in Bitcoin. And here's one about education. It's so important to educate your children, and you can actually do it just if you save a little bit of Bitcoin, and you never know where it's going to go to.
Well, that's the one thing, but the best thing you can do is to actually educate your children in Bitcoin. You know what, Tracy? Talking about Bitcoin education, people don't realize this. People think, okay, I've got to educate my children about Bitcoin so that they can, make money one day, or that they can actually know, that we can save Bitcoins for them, and one day they'll, have a lot of money. But actual fact is, this is very, not seeing the big picture. The big picture is that there's a whole new economy developing. 2 years ago, a job like a crypto programmer didn't exist. Now, crypto programmers in the UK are earning 120,000 plus a year. And so your children doesn't just mean telling them this is, but it's economy, this is going up. It's a whole new world developing. It's almost like when the internet started developing and IT became an industry. Internet money is becoming a new economic fact and an industry, and it's going to create jobs. It's going to create new careers. It's going to create research opportunities. So in all aspects, your children need to be educated, not just on how to transfer Bitcoin from one wallet to another.
Exactly. Okay, and talking about debit cards, actually, this is just a review, which was a favorable one of BitPay Visa. So, people always wonder how can they spend their Bitcoin, but really these cards make it so easy to spend your Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah,
There's
very,
just so
very
many
easy.
ways.
There's many of them at the moment, and there's more of them coming into the market all the time.
Okay, there's lots of talk about the rising Bitcoin prices and falling gold, and the fact that it can actually top that gold price. It's amazing to think that gold's been around forever and a day, and Bitcoin's been around for 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's definitely is encroaching on the turf, gold's turf. This was quite an interesting article. Iranian banker, Bitcoin is changing banking and calls for adoption. This guy is saying that, he says he's calling for banks to work together with payment firms and fintech startups with an edge in Bitcoin and blockchain innovation. And he's just saying that, this is the way forward.
Well, I can't agree with him more.
Yeah. Interesting that we've got this article. We don't really get many articles out of Iran. And this was just really about the price, how premiums to buy Bitcoin can factor into its rising price. Yes, we know that because we were waiting for that because India, Nigeria, as I mentioned earlier, China's always been a lot higher. But it seems, over the last while, I actually did a comparison and the prices are pretty much on a par everywhere now.
That's very interesting.
Okay, how far will Bitcoin go in 2017? These are some experts, but our favorite Kim.com, he says the current value of Bitcoin of $1,000 seems high, and he's also saying here that if you look at the market capitalization of all Bitcoin is only $16 billion. The market value of all gold that was ever mined is approximately 7 trillion. So it's not hard to imagine that a mass adoption of Bitcoin could reach a market cap of more than $1 trillion. Do the math. Bitcoin is still incredibly cheap.
This is right. Bitcoin is still incredibly cheap.
He's also saying here, a price per Bitcoin of $1,000 is a possibility within a decade or two. Hold on to your Bitcoin. You'll see a rise of $2,000 plus in 2007. We're actually going to, I'm going to take this comment and keep it and put it into a blog so we can have it in our history. And then in January 2018, we can go through all of those.
That would be very, very interesting.
Yeah. Technology to power next generation distributed supercomputers. It's ultra high performance machines that crunch numbers at dazzling speeds.
You think they will increase the quickness of mining?
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what transpires. Bitcoin's roller coaster. Here's just another article on. There was just so many articles on the price and how it moved down. But Dawn is breaking on a new digital economy. That is for sure.
That is for sure. That is very, very for sure.
Yes. And this is, I think this is our last article, Death and Bitcoin. And this is just, this is the author who's just saying that, he's a family of 4 and he's actually started to prepare his family's digital inheritance. It's just really his journey on how to do it, because I think so many people, and I mean, I know that you have thoughts on this too, but so many people actually do die, because you never know when you are going to die, and you've never told anybody about your Bitcoin, and they don't know, because we always say to everybody, don't ever tell anybody your private keys, and but you do need to leave them somewhere.
Yes. And there's a lot of ways to do this, and this is something we can maybe talk about later again, is how to do this.
I think that'll be a good thing, Peter. Maybe we can do a bit of an explainer video as well, because it's important to know.
Yes.
You know? And that's it. News for today. A quick quiz.
That's the news for today.
It's gone to, it looks like, see there's two numbers over here. This one is a little bit delayed, but if you go off the chart here, you actually get this other price. I see it's 85, but at the top here it's 956. So it's really just what it does is it just keeps on, as the last trade is made, it updates. So it's all the time.
I think, Tracy, we just need to keep our eye on the prices. Like I said, we're going to do this price watch video a bit later. So come to our channel this afternoon and well, subscribe right now, and just you know, then come to our channel later on and come check out the price watch video as well.
Yes. Okay, Peter, thanks very much, and thanks to everybody out there. And we are going to have one hangover 2017.
Yes, may all your sheep be fat in 2017.
Okay, cheerio.
Ciao, ciao.